in the country have been mirrored in controversies, or rather mired in controversies, one after the other, over various diktats by the HRD Ministry. It was first the flag row, where the government ordered the tricolour atop universities that ignited student protests. Then the demand to install military tanks inside the JNU campus broke out. More protests, saying that it was an attempt to force nationalism into Indian educational institutes. And now another diktat by the HRD Ministry will have students at IITs and central universities across the country grooving to patriotic music by rock bands visiting their campuses. The HRD Ministry has asked all central universities and IITs to host music bands who would perform patriotic numbers as part of the program named Ye India Ka Time Hai. The government has identified certain bands which would be visiting campuses across the country. The program being organized to celebrate 70 years of India's independence and 75 years of the Quit India movement this year. Well, this move, though, has attracted criticism by the opposition, saying that the government is not doing much to solve the real problems in the education sector.
प्राइवेट बैंड हायर करके धुन बजाने से क्या किस तरीके के आप स्टूडेंट्स को ट्रेनिंग देने चाहते हो, मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आता। और ये पता नहीं, खुद शिक्षा मंत्री को मुझे नहीं लगता कोई शिक्षा का ज्यादा ज्ञान है, ना इनके विशेषज्ञों को कोई ज्यादा ज्ञान है कि गाने आने बजाने से कोई भावनाएं पलट जाती हैं। वैसे उत्सव तो जरूर करें भाई, 70 साल पर तो 15 अगस्त के पहले करना चाहिए था। आप सारी यूनिवर्सिटियों को, कॉलेजेस को अपनी तरफ से धन भेज देते कि भाई 70 साल है, विशेष आयोजन है, जोर शोर से मनाइए, लोग मना लेते।
All right, we're opening this out now for our viewers. You can call in, whatever be your opinion on this story. We're taking your calls live this afternoon on NewsX. Our numbers are flashing there on your screens. Let's also get in our correspondent Vijayalakshmi, who joins us live at this point. Vijayalakshmi, a new proposal of the HRD Ministry. What's the rationale for this decision that they've decided to take, and what are the kind of reactions coming in?
As far as rationale is concerned, Uday, what ministry believe that, we need to instill the feeling of patriotism amongst our students, and that's why the circular has been issued to all the IITs, IIMs, and of course central universities across our country, wherein all these universities or institutes have been asked to host, programs wherein they are being asked to, get into certain bands in their campuses so that these bands can play patriotic songs on the campus, which can further instill the feeling of patriotism amongst the students across our country. Well, we know that how this has become a big controversy because opposition has already started attacking the government, saying that, government is trying to thrust its own ideology, its own ideas on the students of our country, because by playing songs or by playing any sort of, song or singing any sort of song is not going to ensure that this is going to instill the feeling of patriotism amongst our student, and one does not need any sort of band, or for that matter any sort of songs or any sort of event for that matter to instill that feeling in the students of our country. So well, that's how opposition is taking this up. But of course it's not for the first time that HRD Ministry is embroiled in any such controversy. Earlier also we've seen that the ministry was in controversy because there was a certain certain instructions that were given to various central universities across our country, wherein universities were asked to put up a national flag atop their rooftops. So well, afterwards we've seen that several other controversial things happened, like the way the HRD Ministry wanted state governments to celebrate Independence Day. This time they wanted students to be administered the oath of Sankalp Se Siddhi, which many states had their reservations to. In fact, West Bengal did go to the extent of writing it down to the HRD Ministry over here,
right,
saying that they will not be able to abide by the central government's guidelines as far as the celebration of this year's Independence Day is concerned. This seems to be another controversial controversial diktat of HRD Ministry, which is not going down well with the opposition, and opposition has already started attacking.
Right, Vijayalakshmi, please do stay with us. Let's also get in some viewers now. Joining us on the broadcast, we have Govind Singh joining us from Kota. Go ahead, Govind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to discuss something about this regarding patriotism of the country. Sir, I just want to express my views.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead, Govind.
Sir, regarding the politicization of the issue is, actually the party who is ruling the country, he is doing the politics, and that's the political party. Any decision regarding they have taken up will be called as a political decision. And regarding any party who is against the party or who is not ruling, they will always speak about it, that they are against politicizing issue, or regarding any decision they will take clear political views itself. Sir, it is a best issue regarding taking a decision. The new youth will know better about it, what they are speaking about, what they want to know about, some of feelings show they regarding patriotism.
Okay, so you're saying it's a good decision, and unnecessary politicization, of course, is bound to happen. Thank you, Govind Singh, our first viewer there, joining us from Kota. Our next viewer is joining us from Gwalior. Anil Dikshit is calling in. Go ahead, Anil.
Yeah. As far as this episode, which has generally erupted through academia of JNU, like about flag, about tank, and about anything connected to India, it's a serious matter that our politicians are deciding what we should do inside the university and how we should learn patriotism, nationalism, or other academic qualifications. They are nobody to decide and impose it from outside. There are students, if they want to celebrate a particular occasion as a festival, they have right to celebrate that occasion as a festival. There is no question of a political party or their henchmen inside the university deciding whether there should be a tank or not. We have in Banaras in the university cannon, tank, everything. What's the problem with these people?
Right, so there's no problem with these patriotic moves, is what you're clearly saying. Thank you for joining us with your opinion there, Anil Dikshit, calling in from Gwalior. Well, remember, it is a call-in segment. Our viewers watching us can call in on the numbers flashing there in the bottom of your screens, whatever be your opinion. We're taking your calls live on this big story. Vijayalakshmi, coming back to you at this point, as you were saying, of course, this is a series of moves that have been coming in from the Ministry of HRD. What is the reaction of political parties and students groups to this new proposal?
Well, there is a sort of a mixed reaction as far as student community is concerned. We are seeing that there are certain students who are welcoming this particular move of the government, but of course at the same time you do have another section of the students who really believe that they don't need any band to come on their campus and play some patriotic song for them to be the patriot, to show their patriotism towards our country. Well, that's the feeling that we are seeing is there amongst the opposition parties as well, as we've heard certain reactions from the Congress party. The spokesperson of Congress party have already started saying that why is government trying to thrust its own ideas, and one does not listen to songs that are being played by a particular band to be patriotic enough in our country. So, well, of course, political parties are taking objection to this particular move of the HRD ministry, saying that the ministry is trying to trust its own ideas, and these sort of bans playing on the campus of various universities is not going to help out our students in any, way. So, well, that's the view that opposition is holding as far as this particular move is concerned. But of course, as far as ministry is concerned, ministry feels that these sort of events are pretty much required at this moment. In fact, when that entire Independence Day event controversy erupted, then also the argument that was put forth by the ministry that these sort of events is the need of the hour, and we really need to tell our students what our country's past has been. And when these sort of events or these sort of cultural events are organized on the campus, it really helps out in making students also to understand certain things about about our country, the diversity, the diversity that we have, our country, or the various.
Stay with us, Vijayalakshmi. Let's also bring in now our next viewer who is joining us from Ludhiana. Major Gurdeep Singh is calling in. Go ahead, sir.
Now, I have only one take on this issue. I want to put a counter to the government. Ideally, all politicians should send their sons first to the army and should make every IAS and IPS officer serve at least 3 to 6 months, preferably in field areas. Then the patriotism will really start flowing top to bottom. This top-down order is neither acceptable to anybody nor it can be enforced. Patriotism is something which you can only ingrain in children. You cannot force it down their throat. I think this is totally unwanted. This is the wrong way to implement any policy.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Major Gurdeep Singh, for joining us there from Ludhiana with your opinion on this story. Meanwhile, we are getting more reactions as well coming in on this story. Let's play them out.
जो हायर एजुकेशन के सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस है उसको किस तरीके से विश्व स्तर का सबसे ऊंचा बनाने का प्रयास किया जाए उसके ऊपर ध्यान देना चाहिए.
It's laughable and it's really sad that the HRD minister and ministry thinks that the students and faculties of central universities, IIT and IIMs are not patriotic. Are we anti-company? I think it reflects the absolute bankruptcy of ideas in the HRD ministry.
So clearly, of course, the opposition there slamming this move. Once again, a reminder to our viewers that they can continue to call in. Our numbers are flashing there on your screens, whatever be your thoughts on this story. Vijayalakshmi, if I can quickly come back to you. Obviously, the opposition slamming this move, the Congress not amused, saying that the government should rather concentrate on other issues concerning the education sector than patriotism concerts.
That's right. In fact, we've heard two senior spokesperson of Congress party, Mr. P.L. Punia, said that, the government should rather be, concentrating or focusing more on the educational institutes, the kind of facilities that is being provided to our student on our campus, rather than organizing these sort of events on our campus. In fact, Randeep Singh Surjewala also, reiterated what was said by P.L. Punia. Randeep Singh Surjewala said that this country does not need to learn lesson, or in fact, our students does not need to learn any lessons of patriotism from any private rock band. And this is something, opposition in fact has gone to the extent where they are saying that government has gone bankrupt as far as ideas are concerned, and that's why they are coming up with these sort of ideas that are not going to have, any impact on the ground for which they actually want these ideas to be implemented on our campus. So, well, opposition certainly is not welcoming this particular move of the HRD ministry. Opposition is rather condemning this particular move of the HRD ministry, saying that this can't help in our student being more patriotic. Students of this country are already patriotic, and they don't need to listen to any, private rock band to, have that feeling of patriotism. One does not need to have any lessons from the government to be more patriotic, and one does not need to listen to these sort of, private bands to be more patriotic. So, well, that's how opposition is taking this up. But of course, as far as government is saying that the circular that has been given to, or that has been issued to various central universities, IITs and IIMs has only asked, these institutes to organize these sort of programs or events wherein private bands can be called in, so that they can perform a patriotic song on the campus, wherein students can also participate in those, rock concerts on the campuses. But of course, opposition certainly not taking it in.
All right, we seem to have lost that connection to Vijayalakshmi, but we will just try and get her back as soon as possible. Till then, let me quickly get in our next callers, our next viewers joining us. We have Deepak calling in from Mumbai. Deepak, go ahead.
Just wanted to speak about this patriotism thing. I don't know why Congress, as opposition, wants to politicize it. They were the people who gave away our UN seat to China. They were the people who created the mess in Kashmir. And they were the people who did a lot of things. They were ones who banned books against Nehru and all. So they are the last people to speak. By the same token, BJP is not the one to tell a citizen how patriotic he is by singing a patriotic song. Patriotic song does not make a person a patriot. A patriot is a person who is dedicated to the country and is loyal to it. Not these stupid politicians who keep talking all bloody crap.
Right, so you're slamming politicians clearly. Deepak, we leave it at that. Thanks for joining us from Mumbai. Our next viewer is joining us from Bangalore. Rakesh Jain is calling in. Rakesh, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Rakesh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't see any problem by doing this program from the HRD minister. It's fine. Whatever the lost glory previously, what all the colleges and IIMs is to do regularly, these programs were conducted. Then no one has objected. Why suddenly this objection is going on? It's a good thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh, joining us there from Bangalore with your thoughts. Our other viewers can continue to call in. We have N. Venkatesh joining us from Bangalore. N. Venkatesh, go ahead. N. Venkatesh, are you there with us? Please go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Venkatesh, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I am Rakesh, calling from Amritsar. Are you listening?
I'm afraid there seems to be a bad audio connection there too, Mr. Venkatesh. I request you to call in once again. But let me get in our correspondent Aishwarya Jain, who is also joining us with further details. Aishwarya, what can you share with us? What more can you share with us?
Well, Uday, in fact, this is Centre's new Swadeshi push, and we have accessed the circular which the Ministry of Human Resource Development, HRD, has issued to the Vice Chancellors, Directors and Head of the Higher Education institutions, which clearly states that, that as a part of this program, it is proposed to host a brainstorming session, New India Manthan, followed by a concert by selecting the rock bands. The bands are being identified and deputed by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting through the National Film Development Corporation, NFDC, which clearly says that, the rock concerts will be organized in different universities in Mumbai, and also this circular states that you are aware that government is celebrating the 70 years of independence and 75th year of Quit India movement with a view of ushering in New India by 2022. Your institution is one of the selected institutions in the country for holding the special program named Ye India Ka Time Hai. So this is the circular which HRD Ministry has issued to the Mumbai University, which clearly states that the rock band should be organized on this upcoming Quit India movement and 75th Independence Day.
All right, we leave it at that. Thanks, Aishwarya, for joining us with the details, the exclusive details of that circular. Let's get in more viewers now on the broadcast. Kalpana Ravi calling in from Mumbai. Go ahead, Kalpana.
Good afternoon. I really don't understand why the Congress has to politicize everything. They keep harping that they was the one who brought freedom to this country, but did nothing to take it forward. And I think this is a great move. Today's youngsters need to know that it's nation first. And so what's wrong in singing patriotic songs? I mean, that's how we all have been brought up. I have brought up my son Ladakh, and I really think the youngsters really need to understand what this country is all about and what is wrong with it. I mean, can't keep following Western pop songs every time. You can once in a while. Why don't you listen to Desi songs like you put out your ticker? And I think it's a great move, and it will build a kind of oneness among the youngsters, and probably inspire more people to join the army or to get into other services to serve the nation. I think it's a great move. Applaud it, and the opposition can keep cribbing. I think is the people of this country have stopped listening to them. So I think you should also not waste time giving them space or airtime.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Kalpana, for joining us with your thoughts on this story. Let's also get in our next viewer now. Ashim Kumar is calling in from Goa. Ashim, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. No, I don't understand what is the point. We have to welcome it. It's all about our country, our culture, our history, the people who fought for our freedom. I don't know why Congress is shouting and making everything out of an issue. We should welcome it. Our children should know about it. We should know about it. Hence our history has been, it is tempered history. So at least our students, our children have rights to know about our freedom fighters. So we have to support it. There is nothing wrong in this. Nothing wrong in this.
Okay, nothing wrong in it is what you're clearly saying. Thank you, Ashim, joining us there from Goa. Our next viewer is calling in from Delhi. Major Vijay is calling in. Go ahead, sir.
Jain, to all of you, first of all. JNU or the government giving this patriotic rock shows, if it is instilling patriotism, it is okay. The contrary should be right also. Every university, every college has a cultural fest or the festivals that they organize immediately after the session. You mean to say that they're going to create some kind of cultural awareness among them? Unfortunately, our students who are especially in university, to name it, JNU and Jadavpur University have lost their way. It is important to bring them back onto the track.
Okay.
It is not the responsibility of only the uniformed personnel, whether women or men, to be patriotic. Every student, every citizen should be patriotic. If this move creates some kind of patriotism among the students...
So you're clearly, if it's a patriotic move, you're clearly, of course, in support. Joining us there from Delhi with your thoughts. Our next viewer joins us from Gurugram. Krishan Kumar is calling in. Go ahead.
I have seen this HRD Ministry circular for patriotic song. You see, I'm a 68-year-old man. When I was young or reading, studying in school, at that time this was relevant. But today, I do not understand. IITs, they are going abroad and they want the people should sing a patriotic song. What they are talking about? That ask him, is our beloved Prime Minister, at least he should give in his own state. If they sing the song, they would have been in army for number of people. I don't think even a single man from Gujarat is in army. I don't know what they both president of BJP and HRD minister, what he wants.
Right. So you're clearly, of course, you're clearly, of course, questioning this move there, Krishan Kumar. Thank you for joining us with your thoughts from Gurugram there. On that note, we are going to